Hey everybody, what's up? Today I want to talk about mixing, the art of mixing. Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to give you 5 tips that you could do to help make better mixes right off the top. So we're going to put on our big boy pants and cue cool synth music. Alright, here are 5 tips that I recommend every mixing engineer should do off the top, and it just helps making the whole mixing process easier. It's very easy to kind of want to jump in and just start moving knobs and adding effects, but if you don't know what you're doing or you don't have a plan, you can just kind of be mixing yourself in circles. So here are 5 tips that I recommend everybody should do. You don't have to, but you know, we're all grown-ups here, so let's Tip number 1. Organize your session, all right? Take like half an hour and just get the files queued up, arranged, set up your groups, set up your sends. If you have effects you want to do, just take the time and just get it the way you want. Color code, everything. Make sure everything's named properly, and just, yeah, make sure you're ready, because once you get into it, you don't want to have to stop to create, a subgroup or, another effects and return. You just want to keep working, right? Keep the flow going. So that's my first tip. Take the time, organize your session. The second tip I have is plan your session. What I mean by that is brainstorm a little bit. Once you have everything organized, zero everything out and just hit play and write down everything you hear. Make notes on what does this song remind you of? What can I fix in the mix? And maybe there's something that's phasing out or something like that that you want to address. Make a note of it. Think of songs that you could reference it to. Think of, do you want it to sound very modern or edgy? Do you want it to sound more like lo-fi and old school? These are all things that'll help you determine on what plugins you're going to use. Make a plan. Don't be afraid. You listen to it 3 or 4 times. Don't just start turning knobs. Just think it out. All right, tip number 3 is use reference tracks when you mix. And what I mean by that is come up with a list of maybe 2 or 3 songs that you really like the mix of and bring that into your session or listen to it a few times before you start mixing. And this just kind of calibrates your ears a little bit on what the levels are roughly going to be like. The reason why I say that is our ears perceive, or our brains perceive, loudness very differently. So if I went to a rock concert the night before and then went to do a mixing session, I'm going to perceive loudness differently than if I had a really good night's sleep and went to mix. So having a good reference track kind of calibrates that. Plus, it gives me lots of ideas, lots of mixing ideas. I'm like, oh, that reverb time sounds really great. So I'm going to use that in my mix. It's a great tool, and I can't emphasize that enough. Really great mixes use really great references. So that's my tip number 3. Tip number 4 is in Pro Tools, save copying. Don't just save as. Once you have your session all set up, color-coded the way you want it, organized, do a save copy in, and that makes a duplicate of your folder, and then start mixing off of that. So that way, if you change anything, you can always go back to the original setup. Also, what's important during this time is go through and clear out whatever tracks you're not using. If you find that you have like all these overhead mics that you're not using, hide them or get rid of them. If you find that there's a bunch of like garbage tracks that really aren't doing anything, get rid of them. Clean up the session. Because you have a saved copy and you have a duplicate, if you find out that you need something, it's not going to go to waste. If you just do a save as, all you're doing is you're duplicating the file, but not duplicating the audio track. So if you duplicate the session file and then delete something, it's still going to delete from your audio folder, and if you go back to reference it, it's going to be gone. So save copy in right off the top, so you got that. And my 5th tip is dedicate time to your mixing session and get comfortable. Have water available, set the lighting, wear comfy pants, all that stuff, because you want to make sure that you're mixing without interruption. If you find that you start mixing and things are going on and on and on, you're not really going to get into the headspace, right? You'll end up feeling kind of rushed. Sweet, so those are my 5 tips. If you like them, please like and share this. Leave comments if there's anything I can talk about. If there's any concerns or questions, let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can go to nickguyton.com. I have a website now, so I'm going to be starting posting blogs. I'll leave my Twitter and stuff like that at the bottom. And thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon.